Each team has exactly 12 minutes to round up its argument. Also, after this argument, the teams will have 1 minute, just 1 minute, to challenge their opponent's argument. And then we'll move on straight to the rounds of questioning. Our judges would ask questions, and each team would have just 1 minute to respond. And as for the judging criteria, the judges would base their judgments on information and research, persuasion, comprehensibility, etiquette, interest, the wow factor, and very importantly, delivery. The topic for this round is on polygamy, and there are two stances. One that is for polygamy and another that is against polygamy. The stance that is for says, polygamy is the African nature of men and an advantage to our society. And the second stance is, polygamy is dangerous and a selfish indulgence of men. Please clap for them as they come forward.
What is the purpose of marriage? There are two major purposes of marriage. Firstly, the reproduction of children that are better equipped to face the adverse economical, physical, and sociocultural environment. And in order to do so, parents should provide the resources, not only the resources, but the love, the care, the attention that these children need. Else, it will tell on the children. The second purpose of marriage is for companionship. And in order for companionship to be met, spouses should give each other the love, the support, the respect, and most importantly, the peace of mind they need. Else, there is no companionship. Polygamy is a marriage setting where a man marries more than one wife. And polygamy has made it difficult for this purpose of marriage to be fulfilled. Not only has it made it difficult, it has also had dangerous effects on the women and the children of such homes. And until my opponent is able to sufficiently prove that polygamy has made it possible for this purpose of marriage to be fulfilled, then their argument holds no water. What angers my team and I is the fact that these men know or they refuse to know the dangerous effects of polygamy on the women and the children, yet indulges in it because of their selfish desires. I want you to remember that the women and the children who are called builders of our society are the ones who suffer from this negative effect of polygamy, are the ones who rights are being trampled upon because of the selfish desires of these men. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, my fellow debaters, we are here to explore the topic of polygamy as the nature of man and its advantages to the society. Polygamy has been a long-standing tradition in many African societies, with men having multiple wives. With men having multiple wives. Before we delve into this topic, let's consider the benefits and the reason behind this practice. Before we delve into this topic, let's give the reasons and the benefits of this practice, such as cultural and heritage and tradition. Polygamy has deep roots in African culture. Polygamy has deep roots in African culture and has been practiced for years. Also, polygamy can bring a larger families. With the help of larger families, polygamy promotes the economic stability of the society. These are the few points to consider. I invite my fellow debaters and my teammates to explore more on this topic and bring a thought-provoking discussion on this topic. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vincent Maduka, and I'm here to argue against the motion. Polygamy is the African nature of men and an advantage to our society. while reinstating that polygamy is the selfish indulgence of men and is dangerous to our society. During the course of my review of this topic, I saw myself asking myself a question. What did our women do to deserve this? That a system in the society is put in place that they are brought below the line of dignity and reduced to mere properties and objects of sexual gratification. And then, while they indeed are meant to be treated equally as us men, what did they do to deserve this? My hope this morning is not much. I'm going to clear us on 3 concepts, after which I'll hand over to my second speaker. 1, is polygamy the African nature of men? Or I would say, can the African nature be used as a rationale for polygamy or having multiple sexual partners by our men? This phrase, polygamy the African nature of men, became popular in our society, like on the internet, when the news of men who were unfaithful to their women came to the internet. Yeah, and then what men were now saying is that, yeah, men are naturally polygamists. Polygamy is the African nature of men. But I want to state it emphatically here that the African nature does not force any man to be a polygamist. I am an African man. The choice of being a polygamist or having multiple sexual partners is the choice of the man, born out of his own desires, wants, and of his desires and wants. And as such, should be labeled against any nature. That's why you have men, African men, who are as well monogamists. So it is the man, and so under no guise should anybody use the African nature as a rationale for polygamy in our time. And then we are not in the culture of the past. We are in the new age where it doesn't matter the number of wives you marry. It's the ability to take care of your family. Second, is polygamy a selfish indulgence of men? I want to ask us this question. How more can selfishness be described? When a man goes ahead to take a decision, not minding what effect it will have on the woman he convinced by his enticing word. Come and be my wife, come and be my love forever. And the woman left everything, goes for him, takes care of him, but he goes ahead to look for another woman. It's a clear case of selfishness. What do our women suffer in polygamous homes? 1, mental health issues. The very news that the man that you love and you sacrifice or left your family to join is bringing another woman in to replace you or as a rival to you. Sends cold shivers down the spines of our women. Some of them start crying, some of them become suicidal. To the extent that the questions like, what did I do to deserve this? What after all the sacrifices comes up and they're heartbroken and it lasts for as long as they are alive and in their marriage. 2, the problem of loneliness, neglect. Our previous giver here explained to us that the purpose of marriage is for companionship, for love, to be there for the spouse when you are at the low moments in life. But then the polygamist doesn't care about that. It's about, how can I have more sexual partners? How can I satisfy myself? I don't care about, and then this man suffers neglect, and we know what the psychological effects it has in our societies. Number 3. It is a clear pattern, a true pattern, that once a man has another woman and women, his financial duties are now being neglected, and the woman now starts, the women, and even the women he brings in, that starts suffering financially because of the interest of the man. Let me ask, how more can selfishness be described? Well, okay, point number 3. Is polygamy dangerous to our society? 1, medicine makes us to know that having multiple sexual partners is a strong risk factor for sexually transmitted diseases like HIV, gonorrhea, and the rest. And let me state it clearly. Our opponents may want to say that having the option of a second wife protects a man from being unfaithful, like carrying out infidelity. But not to make it clear that fidelity is about personal discipline. For a man that is not sexually disciplined, 2 wives, 3 wives will not even satisfy. No matter how many wives he has, he will not still get satisfied. But for a man who is sexually disciplined, a wife would be enough. That's why it is clear. In our society, we have men who are monogamous, and then they are satisfied with their women because of their discipline. 2, poverty level in our society It is a linear relationship between having more members of families.
When we talk about nature, we are talking about your true identity, something you can never take away from your side. No matter how educated you are, no matter how far and near you traveled, your nature remains your nature. And that is why I'm here to support that when we say that polygamy is the African nature of man and its advantage. Before I proceed with my point, greetings to everyone here. Please permit me to stand on the already existing protocol. My name is Achebe Ann Obioma Achuku from Enugu State College of Education. I'm in reality team, and I'm here to support the topic that states polygamy is the African nature of man, or polygamy is dangerous and selfish indulgence by men. I support that it is the African nature and an advantage to our society with the following points of mine. First and foremost, when we talk about the economical aspects or economical reasons, as at pre-colonial era, 16th to 19th century, we are made to understand that polygamy is a symbol of wealth and authority. Polygamy. Another aspect and important and an advantage of polygamy to the society is that it encourages division of labor. I heard my opponent when he said the women are being intimidated, their emotions are being toyed with. You get married to a second wife to help the first wife, my dear. You don't get married to make her feel intimidated. You actually marry another woman so that this burden on her will be relieved. And when we talk about the financial stability of a family, we talk about polygamy. Am I communicating to somebody? The word polygamy in the olden days was the highest and most comfortable way of making a family financially stable, because they share the responsibilities, they share everything, and make sure the load or the burden is not much on one person. Can't you see the rate at which our men are dying? Can't you see it? Men die almost, they even die more than the ladies. Why? Because the burden on their head is too much. Let's talk about the agricultural aspects of polygamy. The agricultural aspects of polygamy. In the olden days, as at 18th century, our forefathers so much believed in cultivation. Before I proceed with that point, I don't need someone to tell you that there is hunger in this country. And every one of us, we are blaming the government. Is it the fault of the government? Or we that are trying to emulate the white man culture by marrying one woman? Some even go to the extra mile to say that one child is enough for them. Who then will farm in the farmland? Where are we going to get food? How will we survive in the country? We now buy everything with our money because nobody is in the farm. There is no enough work. There's no enough laborers. Nobody to work. Nobody to produce anything. The agricultural input has reduced to its minimum. Why? Because there is nobody in the farm. In the name of tagging polygamy as a dangerous and selfish indulgence by men, I disagree with that. And I also heard him said that polygamy is about sexual satisfaction. I disagree with that as well, because men get married for so many reasons, not just for sexual satisfaction. Let's take for instance, you have a wife you love so much, but she's not a good cook. Instead of divorcing her or bringing problem into the house, you can get another wife to be a good cook for you. Yes, let's say for instance, she's so beautiful, she's such a nice cook, she's good on bed, but she doesn't know how to take good care of children. You can get another wife who is good at that. Family continues. Just need to remind you, in the area or the rate of divorce we are seeing in this country every time, in the name of emulating white men culture, that polygamous is dangerous and selfish. I disagree with that as well. Almost every day we are having divorce rates increased. Why? Because we want to emulate the white men. But with polygamy, at least we the single ladies will rest. I wish I met you before I married my wife. Because if you love us, you go ahead and marry us. And that statement, you will rest. Men are polygamous in nature. There is nothing you can do about it. It is their identity, and it can never be taken away from them. That is who they are. It is our culture. It is our heritage. It's what we can do. We are not the white men who believe in one woman, one wife, one child, or whatsoever. We believe in plenty women because we grow, we believe in cultivation, we believe in agricultural cultivation, we believe that children are wealth. They are wealth. Even the Igbo people goes extra mile to give the name Igwe Bike, meaning that crowd is strength. I strongly support, and even till tomorrow, support polygamy, the African nation of man.
Until my opponent is able to tell me where in our culture that polygamy is being said to be something that everybody engages in, until she gives me a proper statistics where she tells me that every man in the olden days was a polygamist, then her argument holds no water. Don't forget that in the olden days, the proportion of the census conducted revealed that we had more women as compared to men. So that
All right,
was a
please
solution.
move closer to your mic. Please move closer to your mic. Go ahead.
That was a solution because a man was allowed to decrease the amount of women who were lonely and had nobody to engage and marry them. Also, she talked about agriculture. Which agriculture? Please, are we going back to the olden days? Hasn't modernized equipment been provided to take care of land farming duties? Why are we still referring back to the old days? What makes a 60-year-old man pick a lady in her, what makes a 60-year-old man pick a lady in her late 20s as a wife is no other reason than for sexual gratification. Most of these women have wives, but because their wives are in that postnatal period where they are prohibited from engaging in sexual intercourse, these men, because of their selfishness and impatience, involved in polygamy. But polygamy is dangerous to the society, and I'm afraid of what the society will become if polygamy is not discouraged. Polygamy has effects on the family. It has increased the number of conflicts in the family. Polygamy creates a societal problem of unequal treatment among family members, and this creates an atmosphere for envy, jealousy, hatred, anger to thrive in the family. You see co-wives ganging up against their fellow wives, and even more painful, it's instigating the children at a very tender age to perpetrate violence in the society. The family, remember, is the smallest unit of the society. And if we truly advocate for a peaceful society, then polygamy should be discouraged because it has helped to increase conflicts in the home, and anything affecting the family will affect the society. Polygamy, secondly, has effects on the women. I am a woman, and I know what it feels like for my right to be trampled upon. A woman's right is being trampled upon in the marriage. Remember that the choice to marry another wife is made solely by the man, and the woman's choice is neglected. Most times they are forced to take on their fate just like that, and it even opens doors for more further trampling of rights. An instance is a woman from Bangladesh. Her husband decided to relocate to the United Kingdom. On her way to the airport, she was denied access even when she provided the legal conferment of marriage on her. She was denied access that she should go back to her country, that her husband already had a first wife in the United Kingdom. I mean, is that not humiliating enough? Polygamy is dangerous, but it also has negative consequences on the children. It has been proven that polygamy increases the child mortality rate. When I talk about child mortality rate, according to health metrics for evaluation, the child mortality rate for Nigeria was estimated to be 22.4%. But when that same study was conducted in Igbo land, it was shown that Igbo land, where polygamy is prevalent, had a child mortality rate of 50.4%, meaning that in every polygamous home, there is tendency for children to die more. I mean, remember in monogamy, there is this system system of family control. A wife can only be pregnant once. But when in polygamous setting, a wife is pregnant, the husband is deriving sexual pleasure. She's pregnant again. Another wife is pregnant. We can have 4 women pregnant at the same time, multiplying children, diluting resources available to take care of the child's health, immunization, vaccination. And when the child is not taken care of, that child will suffer and die. I want you to understand that we can't take polygamy back to the olden days. Like the first speaker said, a man that is not content with 1 wife, my dear, if you give him 10 wives, he will still not be content. So it's a thing born out of choice. No African nature confers a man to be a polygamist. And in fact, other countries where they have polygamy, why are we not saying it is their good African nature? I tell you, don't make no mistake to believe that polygamy is in the nature.
Standing on the already existing protocol, permit me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ezugo Sitadinma John Martin. I can see that these are science students, but unfortunately they don't study science in its reality. Men naturally are polygamous. Science proves it the same way women cannot abstain from ovulation monthly, the same way men produces spermatozoa on daily basis. Therefore, with this particular statement, I have to tell you that you have to face the reality. As you can see me, I'm an African man, and I'm very proud of it. So, coming to facing reality, men are polygamous in nature. Polygamy doesn't just end at men marrying many wives. We have 3 types of polygamy. We have it, a woman can have more than 1 husband, and we have one whereby a man marries many wives. And also on the other side, a person or individuals can get married to themselves. That is to tell you that we are bringing it down to African nature, being the one that affects us, but I want you to go to the diverse aspect of it. Now, polygamy, let me bring you to the reality. It has helped a lot. We have mortality rate of men to be increasing on daily basis due to monogamy. Do you know that men suffer so much trauma in what this particular thing called marriage or wedding? You get a man tied down because you are married to him. What sort of nonsense is that? When a man gets married, he has the right to get married to many other wives. Why do they do that? In order to ease the burden on men. In order for men to be free from some bondage, from some stress, in order for the family to be moving smoothly, you have to engage many other hands. Now, we have too many cases of domestic violence. Women being maltreated in monogamic families. Osinachi, a famous singer in Nigeria, is she in a polygamous family? She's in a monogamous marriage. Why did she die just like that? If polygamy is the issue, why did she die just like that? I will convince you that after my statement today, you will choose to marry many wives.
Now.
And in our society, you see that in a polygamous family, people thrive in order to make themselves proud, and not just within their family circle. You see men who get married to many wives, have many children. The children will be aspiring to be something great in the society. But you see our children today, all of them are just folding their arms, looking for or waiting for their parents. We see our economy going down. Why? Because we have totally digressed from what we are meant to be. In the olden days, men work with their family, produce in large quantities. We have enough agricultural products due to families moving to the farmland to work. During the time of war, how do you face your enemies? If you don't have men that will fight for you, if you don't have people that are produced through the means of polygamy. Now, look at what is happening in our society on daily basis. Men are cheating. They keep on complaining, men are cheating. If a man cannot be contented with 1 wife, like you said, he cannot be contented with plenty wives. then you should stop crying over cheating in marriage. So, polygamy is not the cause of cheating, or is not the cause of any issues you are having in terms of saying that sex is the only workforce or the driving force that made men to be engaging into polygamy. But it is their nature which they cannot hide away from. And our African society fully supports it. Researchers has proven it that men who are in a polygamous family has lower mortality rates. Our society, if you go into deeper research, as a bookworm, I have studied it deeply, and I'm here to give you the same assignment to go and study very well and start bringing Babatim into the stage. Come and bring us into reality. The reality states that you as a man can have many wives. You can have, like, as a single man, I'm already planning to go and have many female friends or girlfriends. So that is to say, to help me reduce my times in terms of our economic growth, in terms of power in politics. Polygamy helps men.
I would like to give Team Victory a chance to respond to the arguments presented by Team Reality. You can do so from your podium. Any one of you can respond to his argument, any part of his argument or his whole argument, and you have just 1 minute to do that, while you have 1 minute to respond. So that's your rebuttal and that's your response, all right? So we'll start with Team Victory. Please go ahead.
Okay, you said we are not medical students enough, in that we are not able to know that men have testosterone. But this revealed your ignorance, because women as well have estrogen that stimulates sexual urges in them. And then if men are polygamous, like multiple sexual partners, then the females should as well do so. The place of sexual discipline in our society cannot be overestimated. Men suffer when women go out and are unfaithful. The same thing that women suffer as well when men are unfaithful to them. It's a mutual thing.
And you come in to say African culture. My dear, culture is dynamic. Culture is not static. Culture is changing. If you say in those days we are doing it, in those days we were killing twins. Should we be killing twins now? In those days they were doing gender mutilation. Should we be doing female circumcision now? If the Obi of Onitsha, Alfred Achebe, can have one wife as the custodian of Igbo culture, then every Igbo man should have one wife. Because the Obi of Onitsha is the custodian of our culture.
Thank you. All right, Team Reality, your response.
I heard when my opponent said that the second wife had been married without the consent of that second wife had been taken on the choice of the husband. I quote you wrong. According to Oxford Dictionary, definition of polygamy, it says that polygamy is a practice of having more than one wife with the consent and approval of all parties involved. So tell me, how are they not aware of it?
Okay, I also want to tell you that you are saying that polygamy promotes poverty. But I quote you wrong in that, because polygamy brings financial advantage to families, because multiple wives, due to shared responsibilities, contribute to the financial growth and stability of the family.
All right, thank you.